What's up, YouTube? This is Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris, and I am here with my weekend haul. It's kind of a light week just because, January is a longer month than most, has 31 days, so that last week of the month you usually get kind of a lighter haul. So, I picked up a few books at my shop, and I'm going to go ahead and just get right into it and show them off. So, first we have Inhumans vs. X-Men number 3. I read all of number 1, and I read most of number 2. I haven't finished it completely. Sometimes you get a little busy and you can't read everything, but overall, pretty cool what they're doing in the series. This book is going to determine the fate of the X-Men. The Inhumans, I'm not really so much worried about. I have a feeling that they're going to be fine. I mean, they're getting the TV. They've already been kind of put on television. They're getting a TV show. So the Inhumans are going to come out of this fine. The X-Men are going to be the ones that kind of end up getting shaken up and figuring out where they're going to end up. So, we haven't had, I haven't read issue 3 yet, so I don't know if anybody's kind of really deserted or moved over and like that. But it's definitely going to be something that, the X-Men are going to be kind of an uncertain group going forward because of the fact that the, movie rights are kind of governing what Marvel does. But overall, not a bad book, so definitely going to go ahead and read that. Next up, I have a book that I picked up because I've heard a lot of people talking about it and saying good things. And I flipped through it, but I haven't actually read it yet. But that is The Dregs number 1 by Black Mass Comics. The style in this book, it's more of a gritty type book. So you're looking at, I guess you could say, kind of like a Walking Dead like type art style with color. Where it's, really just, not your big hulking heroes, nothing like that. Just regular old drawing. Looks like there's a lot of drugs in this. Looks like there's, a lot of crime within the book. I haven't really full out read it, but I definitely will. Black Mask puts out some pretty good books, so, a lot of hype that this book has been getting is what kind of, caught my attention and got me to get it. When I went into my local shop, they'd only had 1 left, so, I figure when there's only 1 left on the shelf, that must mean something, so I picked it up, and we'll see what happens going forward with it, if it ends up being something that's big. The other reason that it's good to pick up those books is because they have low print runs. So if it does take off, if it does become, a bigger thing, it's good to jump on those books early so that, when they do get popular, or I should say, when or if they do get popular, you have, your copies already rather than, trying to catch up and then having to pay $20, $30 for a book that you could have got at cover price. So, next we have a book that I think everybody should be reading. This is one of my favorite books that's out right now, and that is Reborn number 4. I like this cover. This is the cover B variant. It's done by Greg Capullo. Really nice art on this one. Great story. I talked about it a few different times, but Mark Miller is a great writer. He really does these, off-the-cuff stories with heroes and stuff like that. That you really don't expect him to do. He writes, I think, stories that kind of have that alternative niche to them that makes people want to, go and see that, because it's a break from your normal story where it's either, a hero, big hero or big hero team fighting, big bad guys and this and that. This is a whole new world, whole new just, mythology that you kind of get into, and as you're reading it, you're figuring out what is actually going on in this world. And it's just kind of a, I guess new discovery type book. And that's why I like his books a lot, because, you don't go into his books knowing exactly what's going on. You kind of have to read and then, discover this bigger world as it goes forward. So definitely a cool book to pick up. I would say, you could probably still get issues 1, 2, and 3, in your local shops. I don't think they've gone to 2nd or 3rd printings or anything like that. So if you haven't gotten them, go get them, because really, really awesome books. Next up, we have Flash number 15, and this is the Rogues Reloaded story. And in this issue, so last issue they introduced Captain Cold. In this issue, they're introducing Heatwave. I'm kind of excited to see where they're going to go with the Rogues. The Rogues are kind of a they've had many different roles as far as, you know, how you take them, whether they're a serious threat or whether they're just kind of like, you know, joke villains. Sometimes they are just, you know, those joke villains that, you know, they get beat up in funny ways, and you know, you just kind of have to take them with a grain of salt. And then there's other times where they're really just, you know, badass villains that, you know, do some crazy stuff. So, you know, definitely something cool to look out for, to see what's going on. I think Flash is one of the, like I said before, one of the strongest stories in the, you know, new DC universe. But, you know, it's definitely worth picking up, definitely worth checking out. You know, if you're a fan of the Flash, you know, I don't have a lot of Flash books. I didn't grow up reading the Flash really, but this is kind of a jumping on point for me. So, you know, these stories aren't so. I mean, I know his characters, but and Flash is somebody who I'd like to kind of get into, but you know, I just never did. So I figured I'd let this, you know, kind of guide me into, you know, picking up some other older books as I, you know, get the chance, or you know, as I decide to, you know, kind of start a run on that. So next we have my final book for this week's pickup, and that is Thanos #3. As everyone knows, I've talked about Thanos a million times. He's one of my favorite villains. You know, I love the way that, you know, I love the way that he was, you know, put into the universe. I like that he worships death. I love that he's in love with her, and he's done some really just crazy things trying to get her to love him back. You know, he's been a part of some really big storylines in the Marvel Universe, including Infinity Gauntlet and everything like that. Another really amazing story, but in this story, it's a little different. He's gotten to the point where he's now dying. So, you know, he a lot of action in this book. Like he's going around and trying to, I guess, navigate through and you know, cope with the fact that he's dying. And I guess a lot of people are mad with him. So he gets in a lot of different fights. He's not as strong as, you know, normally he, you know, would be. So he's kind of a vulnerable, you know, for the first time I would say he's kind of vulnerable in the universe, whereas that's not something that you would say about Thanos. So definitely a book I think that has a lot more substance than some of the books that Marvel's putting out right now. You know, and when I say that, I'm talking about books like Fool Killer, or a lot of the Deadpool titles, like Deadpool the Duck and all these other ones that, you know, they're really just kind of trying to push these out just to get them in your face. But, you know, there's really not much to them. I think this book has a little bit more to it. I might be a little biased just because of the fact is I do love Thanos. But I think it's worth checking out. They're only up to issue #3. So, you know, check out issues #1 and 2. If you don't like it, move on. But definitely a book that I consider, you know, to be one of the stronger Marvel titles out there. So, with that, I'm going to get going. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to just tell everybody, you know, have a happy rest of your weekend. Right now it's Sunday, so weekend's almost over as always. It's always too short, but yeah, man, I'm just gonna, you know, kind of kick back, relax, and enjoy the rest of my weekend. Gonna be watching the Royal Rumble. I am a wrestling fan. You know, I watch some stuff, not tons, but you know, the Rumble's one of the ones that I definitely want to go ahead and check out. So, you know, definitely going to be watching that. And be sure to tune in later on tonight, because I know after the Rumble's over, Great Legend usually does a reaction video on the pay-per-view. So check out his channel, see if he's doing that live show tonight. If so, he will be coming at you live with results and reaction of the Royal Rumble and things like that. But with that, I am going to get going, so I want to thank everybody for watching. Oh, yeah, also, check us out, JLS Comics, Tuesday Comic Conversation. You know, going to be a great show. That's going to be at 8:30 on Tuesday, so come check out me, Jesse from JLS Comics, Edwin from Strictly Comics, and Justin from Exile State Comics. We're going to be discussing, you know, this week's upcoming books, and just going over some stuff with the guests that we have coming on. So, check us out, and as always, happy collecting. I want to thank everyone for watching for the third time, and everybody have a great weekend. This is Buckshot33, aka Boston Chris. I'm out.